beloved station, Radio Cayman.
The voice,
the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 6th day of July 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian or a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, if you do so, then the life that you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. And I also want to remind you that this segment of the show, Birthday Shoutouts, is proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. And their motto is, don't take chances with your family's future. So if you're celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days as well, like Miss Debbie Sibley, who celebrated a birthday yesterday. And we are also told that the White twins, they celebrated a birthday a few days ago. Also cyclists, Mr. David Cook, who works at Vamped Motors, he's celebrating a birthday today. So Cookie, from all your Daybreaker friends, we want to wish you a happy birthday as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. We want to say to the Premier of the Cayman Islands, the Honorable Wayne Panton, we wish him a speedy recovery from COVID-19 as well, and all of those other persons who may be suffering from COVID also. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, the phone lines are open. You're welcome to call in. Beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. This morning, we're going to ask you to hold off on those calls because we already have someone on hold, and I'll tell you who that person is in a few minutes. But when we do open our phone lines, you can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube, and you do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. So this morning, we have guests in the studio, and we have guests from overseas on the line as well, if we consider the BRAC overseas. We will be talking about Sea Sunday, that is celebrated throughout the world, and it is celebrated here in the Cayman Islands as well. And just an overview of Sea Sunday, it's a day on which many Christian churches set aside to remember and pray for seafarers and their families and give thanks for their lives and work. It is officially held on the second Sunday in July during Sea Sunday, charities as well as non-denominational groups conduct fundraisers, hold parades, run awareness campaigns about sea life as well. Here in the Cayman Islands, of course, we have our own way of celebrating as well. And to discuss that, this morning in the studio with me, we have Ms. Merle McGann, also have Mr. Denston Tibbetts, Mr. Simon Miller, and on the phone we have Ms. Liz Walton over in Cayman Brac. So, folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman. Denston Tibbetts says hello.
So, Ms. Merle, I'm going to throw the mic over to you and, tell us about Sea Sunday in the Cayman Islands. And Liz, are you with us as well?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Yes, I'm here.
Good morning. Good to hear your voice.
Morning, Liz.
Morning,
And
Miss
Liz,
I'm here.
Liz, I think Mr. Whitaker is with you as well.
Apparently he hasn't called in yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's going to join us.
Okay.
I hope he does.
Okay, so as OC has said, Sea Sunday has existed now for 132 years.
Wow.
It is celebrated in more than 150 countries throughout the world. It has its origin back in 1890 when there were several isolated incidents in the UK, where in 1891 the Apostolate of Prayer, they sent devotional magazines and books from Wimbledon College to 12 ships, and they began enrolling seafarers in this pious organization. So 2 years later, in 1893, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul commenced visiting seafarers when they anchored in various British ports. Mm-hmm. And as O.C. said, it's a time when priests and pastors and chaplains and members of various associations would visit the ships in port, and they would have services and counseling for seafarers who were very often many, many miles away from their home and their families, and indeed for very extended periods. So that's how Sea Sunday really began. And it is celebrated at churches worldwide, while they set aside services to remember and pray for seafarers and their families and give God thanks for their lives, their work, and contribution to international trade. Today, seafarers bring the world more than 93% of all household and business amenities. So it's heavily supported by churches all over the world. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And on Sea Sunday, the Apostolate of the Sea, formerly known as the Apostolate of Prayer and referred to as the founding body, the mission to seafarers, the Sailor Society, the Sea Cadets, as well as many non-denominational denominational groups. They hold parades and run awareness campaigns and celebrations about life at sea. So people of all faith and from all nations come together on Sea Sunday as a mark of gratitude to our seafarers, both living and deceased.
Okay, now I know we pointed out that Sea Sunday is usually held on the second Sunday of July. Things have changed here in the Cayman Islands. Hence, one of the reasons that we're actually having this show today, because you want to get a message out as well. But we know that Liz has to leave us early as well, so we want to give Liz an opportunity to chime in the conversation as well and tell us maybe some of the things that were that are planned for the BRAC and those changes as well. Liz?
Liz is our right-hand man on the ground in the BRAC.
Okay.
She's responsible for everything.
Okay. Miss Susan, why don't we do this? Let's take the commercial break so we don't have to interrupt Miss Liz in about 3 minutes' time when we have to go to the break. So we're going to ask her to hang in there. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, then we will commence the conversation with Miss Liz Walton in the BRAC. Please.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The 1700s proved to be a very important century to the Cayman Islands. Permanent settlement of Grand Cayman began with a few families, most notably the Boddens. Between 1734 and 1742, 5 land grants in Grand Cayman were made by the governor of Jamaica. At this time, mahogany and logwood were exported to Jamaica. In 1780, William Eden, a mariner and early English settler, established a cotton and mahogany plantation in Savannah's Pedro Bluff and built St. James, now known as Pedro St. James Castle, a remarkable building for that period and the only house on Grand Cayman to survive a devastating hurricane of 1784. In 1794, the wreck of the 10 sails occurred, and Cayman's most popular legend of how the island became tax-free was born. In 1798, the governor of Jamaica appointed the first magistrate in Cayman.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, we have Ms. Merle McGann. Also with us, Mr. Denison Tibbetts and Mr. Simon Miller. We're talking about Sea Sunday. And on the phone from the BRAC, we have Ms. Liz Walton, who represents the Veterans and Seamen's Association over there. Ms. Liz, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Tell us what's happening in the BRAC, what's going to be happening in the BRAC as well.
Good morning, OC. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is Liz Walton Thompson. I am an honorary member and event coordinator for the Veterans and Seamen's Society of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. And Sea Sunday is really Merle's great passion. I'm just her foot soldier here in the BRAC. So you don't believe a word she's saying, OC. She's like everything. This is just, I just feed from her. Simon and I have been so blessed to work along with her on this project. And we are indeed looking forward to Sea Sunday here in the BRAC. I do apologize for the absence of our president, Captain Ivan Whitaker. He was to have joined us. I'm not sure what has happened. He did have a death in the family recently, so he may be involved with some arrangements for that and may have been unable to join us this morning. But yes, as you did point out, the original date for Sea Sunday is July the 10th, and the events leading up to that would have taken place on the 8th and 9th and 10th of July. But in the process of our planning, there were two passings here. The last one was or is a member of our society, as and a retired seafarer, and the family have planned his funeral services for Sunday, the 10th of July. Of course, our seamen are involved in that. They're standing guard of honor. Their first duty is to their brother who has passed, and they would not have been able to be involved in any activity on the Sea Sunday. Also, indeed, the day before will be the funeral service for our president's sister-in-law. And again, seafarers, their first duty is to support him and to be with that family. As you know, we're a small community here in the BRAC, and people do attend funerals and spend time with the families of those who have passed on. So we didn't want to compete for any audience with that, and of course, out of respect and love. So the dates are now the 15th, 16th, and 17th of July. And I'm sure Marilyn Simon will speak to the events more. But just quickly, on the 15th, movie night, the target group there are young people. The 16th, Family Fun Day, which is planned for the seaside. And on the 17th, they hold a day of prayer, a luncheon in honor of our seafarers, our veterans and seafarers.
Okay, and the venues for each of those events?
The 15th, the movie night at 7 o'clock will be held at the Ashton Ruddy Center. Mm-hmm. On Saturday the 16th, starting at 3:30, the Family Fun Day takes place by the seaside on property just west of the old Tiara Beach on the south side. And the Family Fun Day will end with Galilean service. Also, you might remember the old days of Christian Endeavor.
Yes.
Yes. So that is being introduced and will be a part of our Family Fun Day, and indeed will close out that day. And on Sunday, the 17th, the luncheon, which is by invitation only in honor of seafarers and veterans, will take place at the Alexander Hotel.
Okay, so the advice that you would have now for those persons who had actually planned for the weekend of the 10th in terms of reservations and other plans?
Yes, well, Merle did jump on that rather quickly, and all of those persons that we were aware of that had planned to attend, they were advised, and they have chosen, some have chosen to change their tickets and to rebook. Unfortunately, there are clashes in schedules, and some people are not going to be able to join us. But I'd just like to invite everyone listening this morning, if you're able to come over to the BRAC for that weekend, just take the time off and come and be with us and celebrate.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add before you leave us, Ms. Liz?
No, I'm going to be listening some more, so maybe I'll have
Actually, Liz, Andrew Eden was booked to come, but he also sailed with the person who is being buried on Sunday, so he's still coming. He won't be able to attend next week, but he's still coming because he wants to show his respect to his fellow seafarer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Miss Liz, thank you very much. It's nice talking to you. Nice hearing your voice again as well. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so Mrs. Denniston looked like you want to grab the mic. Now go right ahead.
Well, all I would like to say is that this will be the second year that Sea Sunday is being held here. Well, actually, the first one was at the Lobster Pot, and it's under the auspices of all of the sponsors, and Merle is president of the St. Peter and Paul.
Society of St. Vincent.
Society of St. Peter and Paul.
Not Peter and Paul. Vincent de Paul.
Or Vincent de Paul or whatever.
Mm.
Incidentally, I introduced it to those people there, but it never caught on. So, but now they have me involved with it, and last year was very, 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 very rewarding for the seafarers here, and I'm sure it'll be that way for the seafarers in the Braca and Little Cayman. I'm looking forward to going over next week. A little disappointed for this week, but these things happen, and can't do much about it.
Yep, we still have about a minute or so to go before we go to our 8 o'clock news. Yeah, let's get Mr. Simon Miller into the conversation before 8 o'clock, even though he's going to be, here. So, Mr. Miller, they roped you into this celebration.
Yes, sir.
Well.
Yes, I just want to elaborate a little bit on what Mr. Tibbetts just said.
Sure.
Last year was so phenomenal. We had a group of young men through the Boys to Men program who participated, and I tell you, it was so enlightening for them. To this day, we run into some of them; they're still talking about it. Just to have an opportunity to ride in the catboats, out there in the harbor, it was phenomenal. So we are excited about going up to the BRAC for next week. We have a nice agenda put together that we're going to talk about some more when we come out after the break.
Yep, we definitely will. Ms. Merle, anything you want to add before we go to our 8 o'clock break?
Well, I think it is appropriate that for me, I express that there is so much emotion, so much truth, so much love shown by our seafarers for the fact that we would do this. Last year, many of them expressed to me with tearful eyes that it is so good that we chose to do this during a time when, they're still alive and they can come out and celebrate with us. And well, it really, really did touch them. And every one of us who was there, we remain, quite emotional about the whole thing, because this is our history, this is our culture, and this is our inheritance, So I think it's also appropriate to say that those of us who have worked on it feel like it's a call from up where, God says, come on, guys, I want you to do this. And we say, yeah, okay, God, help us to do it, because it's incredible how things just naturally fall into place for all of us.
We even had people, seafarers who were in wheelchairs, and we accommodated them, and they were served food and all that. So it was for everybody.
Okay.
I mean, all the seafarers.
Yep, and I'm sure people are looking forward to it again. Folks, we reached top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
Say it with me.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
More than a mantra, these words are a blueprint of building a sustainable Earth.
A sustainable Cayman.
So this July, join Foster's and Priced Right.
With your purchase of $50 or more, you'll be eligible to receive a free recycling bin for all your recycling needs to help keep our island clean and green.
While supplies last.
Learn more on our social channels at Foster's Cayman on Facebook and Instagram.
Or go to fosters.ky.
Foster's. Better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego with your latest news. The islands currently have 837 estimated active cases of COVID-19, with 8 people in the hospital. The 7-day rolling average for July 5th is 46. 404 cases were reported between Monday, June 27th, and July 4th. There were no new cases or active cases of COVID in the sister islands. His Excellency the Governor, Martin Roper, announces the launch of the new Police Service Commission, PSC website. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The Police Service Commission is an independent body chaired by the Governor. Established in 2021, it held its first meeting in March that year with 4 subsequent meetings, the most recent of which was April 11th, 2022. The specific responsibilities of the PSC include senior appointments and promotions within the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, superintendent rank and higher, as well as good governance of the RCIPS. The new PSC website at policeservicecommission.ky provides information for the public about the constitutional section and associated regulations governing the Police Service Commission, its terms of reference, operations, decisions, and meeting minutes. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
In other local news, hot temperatures lead the Department of Environmental Health, DEH, to start garbage collection in Cayman Brac earlier for the months of July and August this year. Garbage collection for this period will start from 4 a.m. as opposed to the usual 5 a.m. Officials are asking residents to put their garbage in the enclosure a night before the scheduled route as they implement the temporary change. For additional information, you can contact DEH at 949-6696 or 948-2321. Cayman Brac. That is your latest local news. We now turn to the BBC with a check of international news. That's it from me. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. Answering questions in Parliament, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has defended his record amidst calls from his own party to step down. More than a dozen of Mr Johnson's fellow Conservative MPs have resigned from the government, including 2 senior cabinet ministers. The leader of the opposition Labour Party repeated accusations that the Prime Minister had issued misleading statements on a number of occasions. Thousands have attended a mass funeral in the South African city of East London for 21 young people who died in mysterious circumstances at a nightclub more than a week ago. Pathologists have suggested that the victims, aged between 13 and 17, may have ingested or inhaled something lethal. Officials in Nigeria say dozens of Boko Haram suspects are missing after a prison in the capital Abuja was attacked by armed men on Tuesday. Witnesses described hearing loud explosions and gunfire around the Kuje prison. The microblogging site Twitter has taken the Indian government to court after it was ordered to remove content from its platform. Twitter described the Hindu nationalist BJP government's demands as being disproportionate. COVID restrictions have come into force in the Chinese city of Xi'an following a fresh batch of cases. For the next 7 days, sports and entertainment venues will be closed, all group gatherings are banned, and schools have broken up early. The European police agency Europol say they've arrested the leaders of a criminal network of people traffickers in a series of targeted raids in many countries. 39 people have been detained in France, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands and Britain. An Italian mafia boss has arrived in Rome to serve a 30-year prison sentence for drug trafficking after being extradited from Brazil, where he'd been in hiding. Rocco Morabito, known as the Cocaine King of Milan, established drug smuggling routes to the city from South America. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Always separate debris from household garbage after a hurricane. Debris includes roofing materials, tree branches, and metals. All items of debris must be placed in separate piles and must not cause obstruction to roadways or come in contact with electrical lines. For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 87%. The barometric pressure is 29.96 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 82 degrees. Synopses indicate light easterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours due to a weak pressure gradient over the Caribbean. Satellite images show isolated, multi-layered clouds in and around the Cayman Islands, drifting towards the southwest. The forecast for today is calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of afternoon showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will rise to the low 90s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. And the forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and winds will be east-northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet, and temperatures falling tonight to the mid-80s. Low tide will be this morning at 9:24, high tide this afternoon at 12 minutes past 4, and a low tide again tonight at 9:50. The sun will set this evening at 6 minutes after 7, and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:54. And the outlook is calling for a slight increase in chance of showers from Thursday afternoon as a tropical wave moves across the Cayman area.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting goals, adjust as necessary. When goal setting, anticipate ups and downs. Often it will be easier to stick to some goals than others, so allow yourself to have some flexibility in your approach and assessment. Continue to dream and adjust the end game to maintain interest and motivation. Ask yourself, is this really my goal? If it is a goal imposed by others, then consider what may be in it for you. Why would you do this? There is always the option not to do it. Figure out why you're doing it and then go for it.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. Traffic is busy on the Linford-Pearson Highway and also coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, and busy traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown, and eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving on pretty good. Light to moderate traffic flow on Edward Street as well as from the West Bay 4-way stop, and traffic on Owen Roberts Drive is light to moderate, and traffic moving on pretty good on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. Into Georgetown on Shedden Road, not looking too bad, and traffic flowing moderately out of Georgetown on Shedden Road. And coming off of the Esteli Tibbetts Highway, traffic is busy, and on Northstown Road, moderate flow of traffic, and Industrial Park area as well. That's the latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today. Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Radio Cayman News.
Lawmakers pass a private member's motion designed to provide increased assistance to Caymanian land and home buyers.
Cayman is facing a cost of living crisis. Prices are going up on just about everything we buy.
Since taking office, we have assisted 246 families in stamp duty already being waived.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Ms. Merle McGann, also with us Mr. Denston Tibbetts, and Mr. Simon Miller. We earlier had Miss Liz Walton Thompson on the phone from the BRAC as well. We're talking about Sea Sunday here in the Cayman Islands. And I think before we hand over the mic to Mr. Simon Miller again, Miss Merle, you want to talk about some of the things that we may have discussed off air, in terms of the one who actually would have originated Sea Sunday.
Correct. We're a Christian country, of course, and we embrace everybody, right? But our good Lord, He is our number one seafarer, right? Even our national motto, He has founded it upon the seas, refers obviously to Him. And when He preached, He did like we will do at the Galilean service. He preached from what I know in the BRAC as a little skiff, So it's important to remember that our foundation, our history, our culture, our inheritance is Him, as indeed our number one seafarer.
Okay, so we're going to go back over to Mr. Miller, Mr. Simon Miller.
Yeah, so it's going to really be a wonderful and a beautiful weekend. We're so looking forward to it. We endeavor to want to pull the young people in. So if there's parents out there, anyone listening, please just get the message to the young people. We're doing all we can on social media and everything else to make sure that they show up. We want to kick off things at the Aston Rudder Center at 7 o'clock. We have a very historic, classic 1965 movie, A High Wind in Jamaica. And it's all around, centered around seafaring, and we want to just bring people out. We're going to have popcorn and pizza and some light snacks. So we want everybody to come out. Come out, all your grandmothers, grandfathers, uncles, aunts. Just come out. Let's have a wonderful time. Let's kick off this beautiful weekend. And that would lead us into Saturday, where we want to start to have the family fun day over on the south side. We'll have bouncing castles, various games, again, some snacks. And then we're going to close off around 5 or 6, I think we said, because then we're going to open for the Galilean service, which you're going to hear about more in detail. And that should really set the stage beautifully for that Galilean service, and then lead into Sunday. But, again, want to remind people this is a family fun day, wholesome activities, alcohol-free, argument-free. We just want to have a beautiful time.
Yes,
and if, I think Mr. Tibbetts said earlier, if you don't have plans, try to book a ticket, come over to the BRAC and enjoy with us.
Okay. So Simon, referred to you about the service as well. You want to talk a little bit more about that, Ms. Merrill?
I was kind of hoping that Liz would have been able to talk about that, because, to be honest with you, it was her idea in the first place, and she intimated earlier, OC.
She's listening, yeah.
A
Gonna have you come a little closer to the mic for us, please.
Okay. Anyways, we have with us in the whole scheme of things Pastor Chris Murray, who heads up the Boys to Men, and he has worked with us from day one as well, and he's going to be coming over to do the actual Galilean service, which is going to be by candlelight. And gosh, it's really quite something that
they got a skiff.
Again is real sentimental. Liz is looking after all of that. Liz is the lady on the ground in the back. So that's all being taken care of. And I do want to say something.
Sure.
This whole weekend is sponsored by BRAC Families and the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association. Of course, we have with us also from day one Celebrate Cayman, who actually brought us here today to spend some quality time with you. And it's just been an incredible experience from the get-go.
Well, the Celebrate Cayman, the powers that be there are not here this morning, mainly because of COVID. But they're certainly listening in, and they're a big part of the whole show.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what we should also remind our listeners, Ms. Susan, that the phone lines are open up now if anyone wants to call in, if they have any questions or observations as well. We welcome them to call in. Now, Mr. Tibbetts, there's another occasion that is celebrated as far as seafarers are concerned, and that is the Day of the Seafarers.
Every year.
For the benefit of our listening and viewing audience, can you
every year, June the 25th is International Day of the Seafarer. It so happened that it fell this year on a Saturday, and we announced that we would be having a family fair day that day. Hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, Dominoes, snow cones, cotton candy. We had the works. We had 3 bunks in castle. One was a real bunks in castle, and the other 2 were bunks in castle with water. Oh my goodness! And the children really, they didn't know. My grandson was here visiting, and he just jumped in with all the clothes on. so his mother had to go back home to fetch him clothes. I mean, they just had a real fantastic time. And the Lions, well, let me rephrase that. They are Lions, but they are also adult members of seafarers. They have joined the association, and they did a fantastic job doing the cooking for us, and it was all a good thing, you know. We had Dominoes, and we had some Christian singing with 2 different people coming in, one with a guitar and both of them singing. It was really good. But every year, the 25th of June is celebrated worldwide as the International Day of the Seafarer. It would just happen that it fell on a Saturday this time. But we've been asked to have the Family Fair Day again because it went over so well, you know. And also, another date that is coming up that is very important to us is July the 19th. That's our general meeting, and we're having two individuals come to talk. Well, the governor will be there, and hopefully the premier. I spoke to him before he contracted COVID, so hopefully he'll be there. But he did say he was coming. And they're going to talk and show bullet points on the screen about the shifting of the sand down on West Bay Beach.
Okay.
So that should be very interesting.
Yeah, extremely.
And you know, it's so. I think it's behoving on all of us. I mean, last year was the International Year of the Seafarer, or rather, the Cayman 2021 was declared the Year of the Seafarer by the government, and they changed the Harbour Drive part of it to Seafarers Way, and we also had a groundbreaking for the proposed Seafaring Park.
Yes, yeah.
Where that old building,
Tower
building was. So we had this groundbreaking there. I've contacted 3 or 4 times the minister in charge, and he guarantees me that it'll be done. They just had to put it on hold for a bit because they had other things planned. But we do a lot. Of course, we lose a lot. I mean, recently we've lost, in the last couple of days, we lost seven seafarers, or wives of seafarers, you know. That is why we got adult children of seafarers now members, because sooner or later they're going to be taken over. We had a council meeting yesterday, and we had 5 new adult children join, and 7 new. You would never believe that there were new members, but 7 new members that come out of the woodwork and want to be members, and they passed the test, and they're now members.
Okay.
So while a lot of them are passing, we're still getting people coming, and younger people too. So we have a good show going, and we plan to continue it.
Excellent. Ms. Merle, can you tell our audience about the decision to alternate each year between the Sister Islands and Grand Cayman?
Oh, well, now. We're 3 islands, and obviously we can only be in one place at any one time. But again, last year was so successful, so meaningful, and to be honest, I'm a Bracker. My seafaring heritage, certainly in my own mind, is all about Cayman Brac. And then I looked at the fact that there were so many people I met who are part of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, such as a cousin of mine sitting next to me, Minister Denniston Tibbetts, that I thought, I have to take it to the Brac, right? So I put it to the members of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. At first they didn't quite understand me, but I think they got the passion now. And when I said that, who happens to come forward yet again but Mr. Simon Miller, a Bracker himself, and he put his foot down and he said, we're going to do this. So as it happened, I found that Liz, of course, is, for want of a better expression, I don't know quite know what title she likes to use, but Liz turned out to be the representative for the Veterans and Seamen's Association, or Society rather, of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. And as it happens,
I think she said she was an associate member, but also the liaison.
Yeah. And
but she's always the go-to person in the Brac when it comes to organizing.
How she manages to do all of what she does is really incredible. Anyways, Liz came to Grand Cayman, and her and I and Simon met together, and again, it was all systems go. You know, we were actually going to do it in the Brac last year, September, but then Hurricane Grace came along, so we put it off until the official time here. So we have decided that, you know, we'll just rotate it to include everybody, and to have the meaningfulness that we met with here in Grand Cayman, to embrace the Brac and Little Cayman as well.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we're going to hear a little bit more from Mr. Simon Miller. He is, so excited and in terms of his past experience, with having young people involved as well. And we always hear complaints in Cayman that, there's nothing for the young people to do. There's so much to do. And when they do it, we see, where they enjoy it immensely as well. So we want to talk some more about that. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
JN Money, money touchdown. Send the money now, reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that declarations are due by 30th of July. If you're struggling to complete your annual declarations of interest, the Commission for Standards in Public Life has a new tutorial video available to provide further guidance. Visit Standards in Public Life Commission.ky/register of interest to view the tutorial video today.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Sea Sunday, celebrated in the Cayman Islands. Of course, it was scheduled for to begin on the 10th of July. It has now been moved to for the days of the 15th, 16th, and 17th of July. That conversation is taking place with Ms. Merle McGann, Mr. Denston Tibbetts, Mr. Simon Miller. Before I throw the mic back over to Mr. Miller, I want to mention some birthdays as well, even though we've gone beyond that period. Miss Denise Tibbetts celebrated a birthday on the 29th of June. Also, Mr. How do you pronounce that again, Mr. Danette McLaughlin celebrated a birthday on the 30th of June. And also, I am reliably advised that tomorrow, the Deputy Governor, the Honorable France Manderson, will be celebrating a birthday as well. And the lady, I'm going to just say, when I say that she remembers everybody's birthday, you will know who I'm talking about. And she reminded us and wanted to send birthday greetings to Mr. France Manderson when his birthday arrives tomorrow, as well. So we want to thank her for that. So, Mr. Miller, you're when you talk about our young people, you can see the excitement and the confidence, in your face and in your expressions. Obviously, this is a passion, that you have as well, and you display that passion in terms of your activities and what you do for young people as well.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we were talking, on air and off air, about the importance of seafarers and the importance it is to, the foundation of what we are here in the Cayman Islands, and to have young people engage with seafarers and engage with this wonderful time to celebrate Sea Sunday. It's vitally important. You were saying earlier too, right before the break, that young people always complain that they don't have anything to do, don't have anything to do, but there are tons of things to do. I mean, just being affiliated with like Mr. Tibbetts and his association and the one over in the BRAC, and having young people be able to participate and talk to those people who went to sea. Ms. Merle was sharing earlier, 93%, I think of what you say, the household goods.
Everything, household and business.
So it's
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had a question. Do we have any Caymanians who are?
Well, we have two serving at sea right now. Captain Radley Scott, he's brother to Raymond Scott.
Okay.
He is the only docking master that is still active. And then there's a young man from Cayman BRAC, don't remember his first name, but his last name is Tatum. He ships out of New York. He is on a dredge that he's doing. He's leading up to becoming an officer, but he's doing that full time. So we actually have two Caymanians and they're both on the BRAC, incidentally.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot from the BRAC.
But getting back to what you said about seafarers, when I was a boy in the BRAC, before my parents moved to Jamaica, 99.9% of men went to sea. That is all there was to do. There was no other, except going on the bluff and planting cassava and reaping mangoes and potatoes and things. As a matter of fact, I always smile when I used to see my grandfather's birth papers, or my father's birth paper rather. It says, Father Leslie Tibbetts, planter. That always amazing because grandfather never did go to sea, but everybody else around there went to sea, So, and I'm sure it was that way in Cayman and Grand Cayman too. Yeah. There's a young man from East End. He has like 6 or 7 brothers and 5 sisters. He is the youngest Caymanian who is still active in the association. He is about 6 or 7 years old or something like that. Yeah. But he went to sea when he was very young,
Yeah, I've had some wonderful conversations with him, Mr. Mike.
Mike, that's the guy's name.
Yeah. So.
What I found interesting is that just recently, the cruise ships have been recruiting in the Eastern Caribbean. I think it was in Trinidad. They just had a recruitment drive in Jamaica seeking 10,000 workers for cruise ships. Now, I'm not sure that there are many Caymanians who actually worked on cruise ships. It was either cargo ships, tankers, and things of that nature. But what was interesting is that the Cayman Islands, one of the major ports of call for cruise ships, but no recruitment done in the Cayman Islands. And you ask yourself, the answer is quite obvious to the question, why aren't they recruiting in the Cayman Islands? And I believe the answer is simply people in the Cayman Islands, Caymanians, are not necessarily interested in now working on, say, a cruise ship. despite the fact that there are many benefits, and it can be a rewarding, financially rewarding, opportunity as well.
Well, my vice president at the Seafarers, he worked on a cruise. He was first officer on a cruise ship for years. Matter of fact, that's where he met his wife.
Okay.
So there's opportunity there, definitely. And as you talk about that, I need to mention, as early as the beginning of this week, there's a local person who he has a lot of partners. They're buying a boat, or a ship rather, to do. They have to bring all this aggregate, and he voiced to our council that he would like young men to actually go on board, and they paid them as apprentices and to learn the trades.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I said to him, well, it's a brilliant idea, but it's so hard to find Caymanian young men who was interested in that. But it's happening. It's happening. It's just that we need these young people to go and see, because there's so many. They can't find nothing to do. Come on, man. It's so many things to do, But and Captain Paul hit the nail on the head. Because of seafarers, this country is where it's at right now.
Yes, no question.
So
seafarers put us on the map.
Yeah. So I'm always enthralled with.
Just need you to come a little closer to the mic. Yeah, keep close to the mic.
It's like
sounding distant to our listeners there.
It's like I hear a little echo.
Okay. You may want to adjust the volume slightly, on there as well. So you were saying, Mr. Tibbetts, sorry.
I was saying I'm always, I shipped out of Jamaica, and even though a lot of seamen from Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman were on ships with me, there was one particular guy, God rest his soul, he passed away. He preached that I did not go to sea. And one of my members had to go to Cayman Brac and speak to the youngest chief engineer, because he was on the ship with me when he was junior third.
Uh-huh.
And he said, yeah, he went to sea. I mean, it's amazing, just because I shipped out of Jamaica, because that's where my parents lived, and my dad shipped out of there because he was sea captain, So I had to prove it twice that I went to sea. It's amazing how people think.
Okay. Ms. Susan, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Make your house into a home Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Sea Sunday in the Cayman Islands. Want to remind you, our phone lines are open if you want to talk about the activities, or if you just want to talk about seafaring in the Cayman Islands. You have a family member who was a seafarer or who either alive or may have passed on and you want to share something with us. Our toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and the 949-6990, or send us an email at For the Record. That's one word, For the Record, at CANDW.KY, or send us a WhatsApp at 925-3261 as well. I believe, Mr. Miller, Ms. Liz just called off air just to remind us of some of the other activities that will be taking place over
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On Saturday, the Family Fun Day, I think, will be jam-packed, filled with bouncing castles, and I think there's large games. There's Mr. Jonathan Tibbetts has this splatter gun that he's going to bring out to play with the young, so the young people can use and play with. So we just invite everybody to come out once again. We want to say spread the news, spread the word. Don't forget the movie night starting at 7 p.m. sharp at Aston Rudder Center.
On Friday.
On Friday evening. So come out to that as well. There'll be pizzas and so forth. I want to thank Miss Julianne Scott over there. She's also involved in this. Mr. Keno Daly. Absolutely. They're making sure they're doing their part and getting the word out for us. So yeah, I think there's a list of people for us to thank, right?
Yeah, it's been totally amazing. Yeah. Everybody participating.
I think the vote of thanks will be done at the dinner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and remind our audience of that luncheon, when and where that will take place as well.
Well, the luncheon is by invitation only because it's for seafarers and obviously their wives and so on, and it's at the Alexander Hotel. We wanted originally to use the VSS Hall, but unfortunately that was damaged in the last Hurricane Grace, I guess it was, and so we couldn't use that. Thus, we went to the Alexander. So, yeah,
I think they have a maximum of 50.
Formalities, yeah.
Okay.
They can accommodate 50 people. Okay. If you get more people coming in, then they shift from the dining room to the
conference
room.
Excellent, excellent. We do have a caller on hold. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Pretty good, and good morning to your guest president, Tibbetts, and the other guests there.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
Yeah, I'd just like to chime in for a bit.
Sure.
If I may. One of the reasons why we don't have young people interested in seafaring and the sea is because we have abandoned our tradition and our culture.
Precisely.
And I don't know if people remember, but when Governor Smith was here, Mr. Roy Borden started to. When I ran for election in 2000, one of the themes for my campaign with Robert Borden was Cadet Corps, and we wanted the Cadet Corps to defashion off the seafarers, of the seafaring. And when Roy Borden started the Cadet Corps, I was the chairman of the committee, and Mr. The late Corky Nixon was my deputy. We wanted the Cadet Corps to be off the seafaring heritage, and of course, people who were not Caymanians got a hold of it, and they started in another direction. They started into an armored type of cadre,
cadet corps,
which was alien to us, and they'd abandoned our seafaring heritage because they did not understand our seafaring heritage and how important it was and is to us. Now, that is one thing. The second thing is that a lot of young people now do not want to go to sea because they can get make more money now on the land that they can do at sea. When we were growing up, we know where we were going to work. We know from the time we got 12, 14 years old where we were going to work. We were going to work with National Buck or one of the other shipping companies. The young people do not have that opportunity today. That is because we've forgotten our heritage now. That was a great training ground for me as a young man. I did not intend to be a seafarer. My intention was to go into academics and so forth. I didn't have the money to go to school in Jamaica like a lot of the other families children had. And so I decided with my mentor, who was Dr. Hugh Marsh from Jamaica, he said to me, do what everybody else is doing. Go to sea and save your money and then go to school afterwards. That's what I did. A lot of kids are not even using that today as an example of how to get ahead. They just simply have forgotten their history, their heritage. And what angers me mostly about the seafarers here, there are only certain people here in our country has had any recognition as great seafarers. I remember no one heard about the great Captain Tom Diaz. My grandfather and 5 other Caymanians who sailed the Lost Horizon from Jamaica up to England. That had brought Lord Mountbatten's crew down to Jamaica to play polo, and they decided that they wanted a group of young Caymanians to take the ship back to London. Another thing is somebody on your show today mentioned the movie High Wind in Jamaica. I think it was filmed in 1965, and I believe that Errol Flynn is in it. But most of the people in the movie are Caymanians. It's about a schooner and all the weather and stuff surrounding the schooner and the life at sea. And most of the people on that ship on that boat is Caymanians. They were recruited from Caymanians to star in that movie. And a lot of Caymanians people don't even know that. And I'm so happy that you're putting that movie on. I wouldn't mind to see that again because I saw it a long time ago when I was young.
Come to Cayman Brac.
I will go to Cayman Brac.
Oh, that's great.
Because I have 2 of my brothers are retired in Cayman Brac.
Atlee and Patrick. Yeah.
And I can tell you, I have a love for Brackers and for the Brac because when I was young and my first trip abroad, my 2 bosses were Brackers. One of the late Marvin Ryan and the late Arlen Reed. I never forget the trick they played on me when I came aboard the ship that night, and they gave me my gear and they sent me down. And Ryan was the maintenance man. I was the wiper, and they sent me down in the engine room to Mr. Reed, who was the 3rd engineer, and with a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, and told him to give me a bucket of steam. and I was down in the engine room, sitting there, and Arlen Reed said, "Well, sit here, son. As soon as I finish, I'll get you the steam." And then he came back and he says to me, "Son, I see you don't have a cover on it. Can you go back up and tell him if he wanted half full or full?" And they had me going up all morning, up and down, trying to find this bucket of steam. And when I got into the dining room that day, they start laughing and they say, "Boy, Mac really had you." And they explained to me what the steam was. The steam was the vapors that turn the blades and the turbine that makes the ship go around. And so we have been friends ever since that day. When we left the sea, I used to go to the Brac. I would always go to visit Marvin and stuff. And by the way,
I think they both passed away now.
Marvin was a very talented man. He had one of the greatest voices I ever see outside of for singing, and he could play the guitar. And I was always lucky to go to their cabin in the afternoon, in the evenings after work, and listen to the two men play the guitar. And so I will be in the BRAC. I will come with on the opposite with my brothers, but I will come over there to the function because.
Okay, can I just interrupt 1 minute? You mentioned the seconds on the ship of the 1965 movie.
Yeah.
One of those people, I knew him quite well. He recently passed away, but he always gave me the story of all the things that they did.
Yes. Yes. But how many Caymanian youth know that? How many Caymanian adults know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not many know that because they the people that come lately, the journey come lately do not understand what we did, and they think that people going to see are less than them, and that is why I have no time for them, and because I have no time for them, and that is why I don't participate in a lot of things that they do.
Well, Dr. Macfield, since
Yeah.
you're coming to Cayman BRAC, I'm hoping that you will make notes and come back and spread the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doc, thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to grab another call before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
It's Azita May.
Good morning, Ms. Zita May. How are you?
I'm good. Enjoying this section of your show this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I look forward to next weekend going over to the BRAC and celebrating the Sunday.
Bring some more people with you.
Last year we had a wonderful time, and we plan to have even a bigger time next year.
Yes.
So, this year over in the BRAC. So yes, it's good to know that we have so many people, and like you said, so many of our seafarers are passing away. So it's time that we celebrate those who have gone and those who are still with us.
Okay. Thank you very much. For that as well, Mr. Muller. We know you have to leave for 9 o'clock, right?
Yes, sir.
So I want to give you.
I have to leave at 9 o'clock too.
Okay. Yeah. So very quickly then, we have about 3 minutes left. We want to give everyone an opportunity for some closing comments. Let's start with you, Mr. Miller.
I want to just thank you, Mr. Connor, for giving us the opportunity to come on the show to spread the word. And once again, if anybody's listening, grab a ticket, come over next week Friday, and join us over in the BRAC. BRACers, we will be there. So please come out in great numbers to all of the events. This is about, you as well as everybody here in the Cayman Islands. So, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Tibbetts.
Thank you. Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much to OC, and remind the people that the three of us are BRACers.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it is very important that the BRACers come and support us, as well as the people from down in Grand Cayman, because, as was said earlier, seafaring brought us to where we are today. So we have to remember that. So thank you very much, and Merle, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Okay.
Ms. Merle, final closing comments from you as well.
Well, sorry guys, I can't help it. I'm a woman in the first place, and I just can't express how deeply emotional and rewarding this whole thing is for me on a personal level, that I was given the opportunity to introduce Sea Sunday. Thanks to Simon, thanks to Denniston, thanks to Celebrate Cayman. Thank you, OC. And as far as I know, we return this afternoon for Talk Today. So all well done. Thanks be to God.
Okay, thank you all very much as well, folks. Top of the hour headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, the phone lines will continue to remain open. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. I have several articles I want to share with you. Let's look and see what the government of Bermuda is doing as far as the bankers over there and their fees. We here in the Cayman Islands complain about the way some banks treat their customers. Let's compare what they're doing over there and what's being done here. And those of you who are British citizens, it appears as if you may possibly have a new Prime Minister in the UK. It seems as if ministers have resigned en masse. This may be the last stand for Boris Johnson. Let's talk about that as well. Will he call for fresh elections? Not sure whether or not they want to do that, because in the local elections, the Tories have taken a thrashing so far as by-elections are concerned. So many things to talk about. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after headline news.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Police are investigating an indecent assault which occurred on West Bay Road shortly before 2:30 a.m. on Sunday. Police received a report of a male intruder who entered a unit at a condominium complex north of Earth Close on West Bay Road and touched a child inappropriately while she was asleep in a bedroom with her parent, startling her awake. The man then fled from the room out the back door of the unit. The man is described as having dark skin, a black bandana, and a small beard. Before the incident, police say a person fitting the description entered another unit within the same complex and left that unit after being seen by one of the occupants. No physical contact was reported in that case, and no injuries were reported as a result of either incident. Police say if you have any information to report it to the police, you can call the Georgetown Police Station on 949-4222. In international news, European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen said Wednesday that the 27-nation European Union needs to make emergency plans to prepare for a complete cutoff of Russian gas in the wake of the Kremlin's war in Ukraine. The EU has already imposed sanctions on Russia, including on some energy supplies, and is steering away from Kremlin-controlled deliveries. But the head of the EU's executive branch said the bloc needed to be ready for shock disruptions coming from Moscow and said the first plans would be presented by the middle of the month. Meanwhile, a defiant British Prime Minister Boris Johnson battled to stay in power Wednesday after the resignation of two top ministers and a slew of more junior officials who said they could no longer serve under his scandal-tarred leadership. Johnson is known for his uncanny ability to wiggle out of tight spots, but a series of accusations of misdeeds have pushed him to the brink, and some of his fellow Conservative lawmakers now worry that the leader renowned for his affability could be a liability in elections. Those are your latest headlines. I'm Shanda Gallego.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advance notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
praise time.
Praise Him, praise Him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise Him in the morning and in the
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him. Praise him. Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio K-Man, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him. Praise him. Praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio K-Man.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to thank our guests who have left the studio now. I want to encourage everyone, if you can, participate in the Sea Sunday events taking place July 15th, 16th, and 17th. Some of you have already made plans for the 10th. That, of course, has changed. Some of you will be able to shift your dates to accommodate the new dates. Others may not, which means there will be opportunities for those persons who may have missed out before to fill those spaces, as well. So if you get in contact with Miss Merle McGann, Miss Liz Walton, you can get all of the details, or Mr. Alfonso, Celebrate Cayman as well. And everyone should get out and support it. Seafaring, our heritage. Earlier, we spoke about the fact that the cruise lines actively recruiting. They were in Jamaica about a week ago, seeking to recruit some 10,000 persons to be employed on cruise ships. Many advantages. You get to travel the world for free. You get all of your meals for free each day. You don't have to pay rent on board the cruise ships. So it's an opportunity for you to sail. Now, some of you may say, well, I may not have to pay rent on the cruise ship, but if I have an apartment back home and I want to maintain that, then I still have to pay for that as well. Or I may have family to support. Well, family to support. Bear in mind that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, seamen, the Cayman seamen, for instance, were making, an ordinary seaman was making anywhere between $90 and $100 per month, folks, not per week, per month. And, with overtime, especially if you were sailing on oil tankers, where after you had discharged your cargo, then on the way back to get a fresh load, you had to demuck the tanks. That's where you made your overtime and you were able to save money. Now, you hear stories about drunken sailors and, spending their money when they get to shore. That may have been the case in some instances, but we know here in the Cayman Islands as well what those remittances back home did for our families in terms of providing shelter, food, and clothing as well. So while there may not be a huge appetite for people wanting to sail on ships in the Cayman Islands, it can be extremely rewarding depending on your particular circumstances as well. Okay, so let's see what else we can share with you. I just want to remind you, phone lines are open. The toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 6990, or email us at for the record, one word, for the record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show as well. Oh, I wanted to give a big shout out to several persons as well, and I'll find the correspondence in relation to the announcements that were made as well. Meanwhile, we see that MRCU, they have undertaken control operations, for the spraying of mosquitoes as well. That is certainly welcomed with the amount of rain that we have been having, and the breeding of mosquitoes as well. I believe we do have a caller, so let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. I'm fine. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm on my visa.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of wind coming from your phone. We can hear the wind in the background. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, is that any better?
Much better, much better.
All right. I had to call in when I heard about the seamen and stuff, because it brings back to my memory my father going to sea. And he's given us some stories of the kind of weather that they've had to endure in order to make a living out there on the water.
Mm-hmm.
He said, they would go to like Canada, I think it's Nova Scotia, and he said they'd leave from there. It was so cold that they had ice on the deck, and when they reached back to USA South Africa, it was still ice on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been through hurricanes and storms, all kind of weather. Yep, so my hat's off to all the seamen around the world, in particular our own, because as you know, the history has it that Cayman was one of the best seamen in the world, or if not the best.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Definitely.
Today, we still have a few of those, and I'll name one in particular, Hugh Bush King. Everybody know him as.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, he's an awesome seaman. So, and then there was one young fella from East End as well, McLaughlin. He's also out there as one of the young captains in Cayman. So we still have a few, but our fellow Caymanians know we're going to the ear and making us proud up there.
Huge demand for pilots these days, yes?
Yes, and not only that, we have some of the best in the world right here in Cayman pilots. So my hat's off to both the captains, the seamen and the pilots. So, and now on the driving OC, that is still, a big issue here in Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
Up until last night, right in front of my gate, directly in front of my gate, a 3-car collision. For what? A piece of straight, A 3-car collision.
Yeah. Do we know how that occurred? Were they all heading in the same direction, or some in the opposite direction? Do you know?
Opposite direction. Two were heading in the same direction. They were heading towards town, and one was heading east. I don't know exactly what happened, because I was lying in my bed when I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
I went out, to see, and there was a red truck that like I said, I don't know how it happened, but that red truck ended up hitting 2 vehicles.
Wow.
Whether it was his fault or whose fault, I don't know, but he hit a Lexus and then one of Andrew vans as well.
Mm.
And all 3 vehicles had extensive damage. They couldn't. You would say they couldn't move under their own power after that.
Wow.
And it could have been a lot worse because there were no injuries, you would say, to report. But like I said, it could have been a lot worse. People need to pay attention to what to how they're driving. Anyway, we'll see.
Okay.
I can leave.
Thank you.
Those few little words.
Thank you very much. Please stay safe as well. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I want to give a big shout out to the new director designate of the Cayman Islands government's Computer Services Department as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We do have a caller on hold, but I just want to share this with you. Most of you would have seen it already because it was released on the 29th of June, but the ministry announced a new director designate for the Cayman Islands Government Services Computer Services Department. It says, after an open recruitment process in compliance with the Public Service Management Act, Ministry of Investment, Innovation and Social Development has announced the appointment of Mr. Darvey Whitaker to Director Designate of the Computer Services Department of the Cayman Islands Government. As the provider of strategic solutions serving core government as well as selected statutory authorities and government companies, the Computer Services Department enables these entities to achieve their digital and technological objectives. Computer Services Department maintains the government data centers and networks and serves internal users with technology. It acts as an internal business partner for government entities to create their own digital and technology systems in order to deliver a world-class experience to all people and entities that are served by the government. The acting chief officer, Ms. Tamara Ebanks, congratulated Mr. Whitaker on his appointment, noting, and the quote is, "The Computer Services Department provides the crucial framework and underpinning for government to serve the people of the Cayman Islands, building and maintaining the systems that enable the government to conduct business as well as generate core government revenue. With more than 3 decades of commitment within the department, Mr. Darby Whitaker exhibits an exemplary combination of leadership, aptitude, and dedication required for success in this crucial position." Commenting on his appointment, which became effective on Wednesday, the 1st of June 2022, Mr. Whitaker observed the possibility, he's quoted as saying, the position of Computer Services Director, of course, entails significant responsibilities and challenges, and I look forward to leading a highly dynamic and dedicated team of professionals to continue bringing meaningful and measurable improvement to fruition. I am honored and profoundly appreciative of the confidence placed in me by the Ministry of Investment, Innovation and Social Development. And he also expressed deep gratitude for the leaders throughout his career and provided support. I won't read the rest of it, but just to say, Mr. Whitaker, a local grown person, he has worked his way up through the Computer Services Department. You can't find a more humbling individual than Mr. Darby Whitaker. I have, throughout my career, has known him, and when Computer Services Department fell under the Cabinet Office, as well. And it is good to see, again, that a Caymanian has been propelled to the position, not as designate, and he will eventually take over the position as well. Goes to show you that when there is a will, there is a way. I say no more. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, RC, and to your listeners.
Good morning, Billy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Well, let me join you and everybody in congratulating Mr. Whitaker for ascending to that very, very important position. The only thing that I'm wondering whether there were 9 other people who might have been victimized elsewhere in government for one person who we're now rejoicing over. That's not to put a damp on the occasion, but I think just to sensitize people to say sometimes when one person arises and achieves that position, very often there are 5 or 6 others who were victimized, and therefore we should also look out for those in case there are any.
But when you say, can you elaborate on that a little bit when you say, some that may have been victimized?
Well,
you mean, do you mean in this particular process or in other processes?
Yeah, well, it's good also, because I didn't make that very clear. I think in the particular process, there's no reason to believe there were others who were victimized. But just as a general statement,
got you.
I always wonder, but whether in government, there are more people being victimized than those who are being treated fairly. And I think we just need to look out for that. Now, I've got 3 points to make. I hope I can make them in 2.5 minutes.
Well, you'll get more time than that. Actually, we're going to take a break at 9:30, so you have about 6 minutes that you can talk.
Okay, it always helps when I can elaborate just a little bit more.
Sure.
There's a case that's going on right now. It's on the website for the judicial.ky. It is a case involving a young person, a young man called Derek Ebanks. All the details are on the website. Derek spelled D-A-R-I-C, Derek Ebanks. This young man, somewhere around 2001, I believe, had a very bad accident, and he won millions of dollars in damages from the court. I think the case was heard by acting Justice Malcolm Swift. And after the judgment was won, issues arose regarding the management of the fund. I understand the fund was in trust by the former clerk of court. I imagine the former clerk was being sued in the official capacity, but this was the time when Tabitha Philander was the clerk of court.
Okay.
So Tabitha Philander is being sued together with another lawyer in the firm. I won't mention the lawyer in the firm, but I understand a lawyer and a law firm is also involved. And they are being sued for accounting of the amounts of money which were paid. And I think that is very, very good to see, and people need to follow that case to see what kind of accountability will be established, because this is the thing I think you and Dr. Steve were talking about.
Yes. Because I was saying that, we don't hear much about that here in the Cayman Islands.
Exactly, and you were right about that. It's just that when one case like this happens, then it becomes even more important because of that valid point to follow it up and see the extent to which there will be accountability in that case, especially that it involves a young person. I believe one of the guardians was the well-known lady Paulette Anglin Lewis, together with another person. They were the guardians ad litem who were pursuing this on the part of this young man. The case is number 91 of 2022, 91 of 2022, for those who want to follow it. If you just go to judicial.ky, put in search Derek E. Banks, it will come up and you can read some details. Second point also is about the cabinet manual. Vaughn Carter, the chair of the Constitutional Commission, who you had on your show not too long ago,
on Friday.
Yes, on Friday, yes. Has indicated that they have recommended that there should be a cabinet manual to deal, among other things, with the issue of transition. With what has happened in the past, the independents happen to be winning all the time, and then the transition becomes more difficult. And then they recommended that there should be a cabinet manual to deal with that, the way it is in other countries. And I think that's a very, very good recommendation. First of all, as a specific recommendation to cover that eventuality. But also, it is a good recommendation, although the Commission was not concerned about that aspect. It is good always to have a cabinet manual, because a cabinet manual deals with not just those issues. It deals with just about everything relating to government records, the legislative aspect of it, and all those things. And then also, usually, you would have a legislation manual, which is like a counterpart document for that. And one of the reasons why I'm mentioning this, OC, is because about 10 years ago, I suggested in government, not 10 years ago, about 2010, I suggested that there should be a cabinet manual and there should be a legislation manual. And I actually offered that I would do it as part of my job, no extra remuneration. It was resisted at the time. Okay? It was resisted at the time. And look at it now. It looks like now we are going to have this manual. But look again how much later it is coming from the time it was suggested. And those are the things we always need to look at. And then the last point has to do with the issue we talked about a little bit last week on retirement of judges. Retirement of judges, I still am not convinced personally that they have made a case for them to retire only when they reach 70 years old. Because for me also, it takes actually much longer to train a surgeon, okay, or a specialized doctor than you do to train a judge. Because once a judge actually is trained and you become a lawyer, after 10 years, you can become a judge. There's nothing special about that. And the judges in Cayman at the moment, they earn a minimum of approximately $250,000 US per year, tax-free, and then they've got the other benefits which other civil servants have. And yet you have people in government...
And that would be from what level? Like a grand court judge? Or what? Would that include magistrates as well?
No.
Okay.
To be exact, the last advertisement, when Mangatau left, the advertisement that went out, it was advertised, to be exact, it's 208 CI.
Okay.
208 CI, which is about $250,000. So they are very well remunerated. So I don't see why they have to stay in their job so long. And you remember that actually the Chief Justice had taken a case to the Privy Council to try and get them to retire at 70. He was not successful. That's how they came back now. They amended the Constitution without sufficient consultation, and finally they were able to get that. I really think that needs to be looked at. It is not fair to do that. A lot of people I've discussed with in Cayman as well. They think really it should be the same for everybody. Nobody should be special.
But what about the argument, in terms of having that institutional knowledge and being able to retain that for a period of time, so that there can be a smooth transition? I mean, we're seeing now, for instance, magistrates, like you said, after 10 years as a lawyer, you can actually be a judge. We're seeing magistrates coming from private practice, going straight, and sitting on the bench as well. That cannot always be good, for the profession. That my view.
Well, there is a point there, OC, in the sense that yes, you once you come into the judicial and the whole justice system from private practice, and then you come into the judiciary, yes, there are certain institutional things that you need to understand. But frankly, a lot of them you have dealt with, but only dealt with them as a lawyer. You are now coming in to come and deal with them from a different capacity. It is like, for example, look at Mr. Bush, right? Mr. Bush was a member of parliament for a long time, for a short time as a backbencher, but most of the time as a minister. And then he became speaker. Really, yes, there was some institutional knowledge he needed to gain from the inside, but how much more really did he need to learn? There isn't much. And in any case, even if I'm not correct in saying that, but this applies also to a lot of other people. There are people who come in from the UK, have worked in a certain field, they come to Cayman, or other people who have worked in the private sector in a particular area, and then they come into government. Andre Ebanks used to be in the private sector, came into the government. I know some other civil servants who have also been in the private sector, who have come into government. I don't think that really would justify them then staying longer than anybody else. I think that all the reasons are pointing towards equality for all. After all, who tells us about equality before the law? It is the judges who tell us about equality before the law. They should practice what they preach. But that's my view on it. There are different views. I respect other views, but that's my view on it.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
That's my case. Thank you.
All right, take care. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
The Department of Agriculture is hosting a 5-day agro-processing workshop from the 18th to the 22nd of July at Clifton Hunter High School from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The workshop is ideal for farmers seeking to add value to their crops or individuals interested in starting or improving an agro-processing business. Upgrade your skills in good manufacturing practices, principles of agro-processing, and the manufacturing of purees, juices, jams, sauce, and more. Interested agro-producers are invited to apply at doa.gov.ky website. Applications will be screened and only 20 people will be selected. The cost is $150 and participants must be 18 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio K-Man.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio now. Phone lines are open. I'm going to keep it local for a while. Keep it all Caymanian news. On the 29th of June, we had a press release. This is extremely important. This Coach Gilly calls time on noteworthy sporting career. And it says the last of his generation of trainers, Coach Ernie Gilly, Edison Seymour, GM, has retired from the Department of Sports following an impressive 26-year tenure. The gold medal of men and pioneer of sports recipient stepped down recently, leaving behind a strong record of training youth and senior football teams to league and divisional success. Director of Sports Kurt Hides is quoted as saying, Coach Gilly is a one-of-a-kind coach. He added a level of depth and expertise to his job that will be hard to match. He's quoted as saying that on behalf of the Department of Sports and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we appreciate his contribution to the development of sports on a district and national level and wish him every success in his retirement. The article goes on to say that after a quarter century of training and conditioning players, Coach Gilly is quoted as saying, I leave a career I've enjoyed, having achieved much more than I'd ever dreamt possible. I have so many highlights to look back on and players that I am honored to have helped reach their full potential on and off the pitch. Coach Gilly was selected for the national team at just 17 years old and spent the succeeding 15 years honing his skills, playing against international teams like Dominique, Antigua, and Guadeloupe. The center forward got his first break in sports management when he was handpicked by the former technical director, Winston Chung, the late Winston Chung. As assistant coach, Coach Gilly was tasked with training and conditioning his former national side teammates. As a founder of Cayman Athletics Sports Club, 2006, the 65-year-old is still a dynamic force in local club football and plans to continue coaching. The head coach, technical director, built a club that has produced an under-15 team that went undefeated for 3 seasons. He guided CASC's teams to earn awards in all the youth divisions, as well as winning the men's FA Cup and Charity Shield. Coach Gilly explains that the club's achievements always tied in with his work with the Department of Sports, as it was instrumental in helping support the local league and divisional structure that underpins football to this day. Coach Gilly uses the 4 pillars of football coaching to enhance player development, which are the physical, technical, tactical, and psychological. He believes this method has produced the numerous accomplishments his players have earned, including national side caps, MVP, and top goal scorer awards. Since retiring, Coach Gilly continues to manage CASC's youth and senior teams, as well as working with Red Bay Primary, like he previously did with Georgetown Primary School. On the sidelines for the last 40 years, he continues to volunteer up to 5 times a week, field marking for internationals and league matches. Off the pitch, Coach Gilly enjoys tending to his flowers and fruit trees and is currently clearing a hot pepper patch in his yard. He has also been a keen crabber since his childhood and likes hunting for large cliff crabs in Northside or breakers when they are in season. In summing up, the Retirees Impact Assistant Director of Sports, Flynn Bush, said Coach Gilly's most lasting legacy, and one which the entire department can take pride in, is the difference he made to the lives of some of his less advanced players. The quote is made, the structure, sense of discipline, and example he has instilled in them as their coach has helped many young boys develop their characters and work ethic, putting them into a trajectory for success as men in later life, he explained. Okay, now what this article didn't say is who is succeeding Coach Gilly as the national coach. We hope and we trust that it will be someone that we will be proud of and someone with whom players and the community can identify with. In other words, what I'm saying is, I hope that there's a Caymanian who has been selected to replace Coach Gilly as well. Ms. Susan, why don't we take that final commercial break now, and then we'll talk about the banking situation, especially, with the increase in interest rates and everything, and the complaints that people have here in the Cayman Islands and other jurisdictions as far as banking fees are concerned. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross, now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. One of our listeners has written in and said congrats to Gilly. Also, some other government workers who have not been recognized too. Like some police officers who have been in with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service for at least 34 years and have now retired, as well. Well, we want to give shout outs to everyone. Of course, we know that some people go into a profession simply because of their passion, for whatever line of work that may be. Others may go into professions simply for the financial rewards that those positions offer to them as well, and not necessarily with any altruistic purposes in mind whatsoever. Okay, so the Bermuda Bankers Association, they have reacted to claims made by the Premier of Bermuda in the Bermuda House of Assembly in Bermuda. And of course, if you're a member of Parliament, member of the House of Assembly, then you are entitled to immunity. So you can call names if you so wish. No one can sue you, for doing that because you have that parliamentary privileges, as well. And we've seen that done here in the Cayman. But notice, Bermuda is has one of the oldest governments around. And if anyone at any jurisdiction at any point in time, other than probably than Barbados, could be deemed to be closer to the UK, it would be Bermuda. But you notice what their edifice and their institution were elected representatives, and they also have unelected because they have a bicameral legislature. But you notice what they call theirs? The House of Assembly. Folks, in the Cayman Islands, we used to have something called the Legislative Assembly as well, but some of our politicians, for whatever reason, and I still don't understand why, wanted it to be changed to Parliament. Now, I am old enough to remember that one of the arguments put forward when we had an executive council rather than a cabinet was that we need to change that, because when our ministers or members of Executive Council traveled overseas and people didn't understand the concept, the term, member of Executive Council with responsibility for whatever subject. So we should change it to cabinet. Of course, that was changed eventually when in 2002, when we then needed to have the leader of government business identified in legislation. And as a result of that, then the Executive Council was renamed Cabinet, and the position of Cabinet Secretary was also introduced as well. But I have still not been convinced. No one has been able to put a sound argument as to why we needed to change our legislative assembly, the name of our legislative assembly, to Parliament. I call it a feel-good amendment to our Constitution. Anyway, so this article, it says the Bermuda Bankers Association said the group has worked closely with the Bermuda Monetary Authority in its efforts to develop a code of conduct for banks. Bankers last night reacted to the direct hit they took from government on Friday when David Burt, the Premier and Minister of Finance, raised alarm on the floor of the House of Assembly at the escalating rise in bank fees and charges. Premier laid out an ultimatum for bankers to do something about the high cost of banking in Bermuda, or the government would intervene. Strong, strong words by the Premier of Bermuda. The Premier's strong remarks came as he introduced to the legislature the Banks and Deposit Companies Amendment Act 2022 to provide the Bermuda Monetary Authority the power to impose codes of conduct on how institutions conduct deposit-taking business. Asked about the named concerns, the Bermuda Bankers Association responded Monday night that the various institutions were already looking at matters at issue under the guidance of the Financial Services Regulator. They said discussions amongst the government, the Bermuda Monetary Authority, and the bankers had already taken place. But Friday, the Premier raised concerns about excessive over-the-limit charges on credit cards. He also complained that some local banking fees have increased by 400% over the last 3 years alone. The association addressed none of the concerns directly. There was no clarification of the 400% claim or comment on the allegation of excessive credit card charges. There was no direct address on the claim that Bermuda was still facing punitive practices for ongoing over-the-limit credit card charges, practices no longer seen in other jurisdictions. The association response said the Bermuda Banking Association has worked closely with the Bermuda Monetary Authority in its effort to develop a code of conduct for banks. The Bermuda Banking Association supports a principles-based customer protection standard for Bermuda. Goes on to say, with respect to bank fees, the government was made aware of the association's efforts guided by the Bermuda Monetary Authority during a meeting with the Premier Minister for Cabinet Office and Acting Financial Secretary to enhance transparency and comparability of bank fees listed in our respective websites. We continue to refine the initiative with the Bermuda Monetary Authority as well. So here we have the highest politician in Bermuda taking on the banks in the Bermuda Legislative Assembly, telling them that, if necessary, the government will intervene if they do not do something about fees. I notice that here in the Cayman Islands, when complaints are made in relation to banking fees and everything else, the Bankers Association here in the Cayman Islands has a tendency to remain quite silent. Now, there's this saying that talks about the fact if you want something to go away, you don't respond to comments that are made. You just remain silent, and eventually they will go away. And that seems to work pretty well here in the Cayman Islands. I raised a few weeks ago the fact that with the increase in interest rates, Bank of Butterfield in Bermuda chose to not implement the full amount of interest rate, but here in the Cayman Islands, they did not choose to do so. Of course, I got no feedback, from that, no comments or anything. And, with one voice out in the wilderness bringing it to their attention, they need not respond as well. But in general, I find that the Bankers Association here in the Cayman Islands, when complaints are made, they don't necessarily respond to them. That whether or not that is a deliberate strategy or whether or not they don't know about the complaints, I leave that as a rhetorical question as well. So, folks, those of you, British citizens, some of you here in the Cayman Islands can vote in British elections, some can't. Whether or not you will have new elections, we're not sure, but we see here where just recently, BBC has informed, put on their website, 6 further ministers, including 3 others are the latest to resign from Boris Johnson's government. They also pointed out that earlier, Sajid Javid, who quit as health secretary yesterday, he told members of parliament that trading the tightrope between loyalty and integrity had become impossible. The Prime Minister in the UK, Boris Johnson, has insisted that he will not leave Number 10 Downing Street despite a growing revolt against his leadership. And this morning in the UK's time, he was facing a grilling from senior backbench members of Parliament at the liaison committee. The BBC also points out that at least 27 ministers and aides have now resigned from government after Javid and Rishi Sunak, who's the Chancellor, quit the cabinet on Tuesday. There are also calls for the rules of the 1922 Committee of Conservative MPs to be changed to allow another confidence vote in the Prime Minister. Now, the 1922 committee is there's a conservative group of conservative MPs headed by Sir Graham Brady, very, very powerful. But this year they have already had a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister, which was unsuccessful. And under the rules, they're not allowed to have another vote of confidence or no confidence within a 12-month period. So that is why we are seeing the resignations in mass to see whether or not they can force Boris Johnson to resign. Knowing the man, I don't think that that's going to happen. I was having some discussions with someone just yesterday. Of course, he could call early elections as well. I doubt whether or not that will be the case, because we have seen that the Tories have taken a licking in local elections as well as by-elections. Their numbers are not looking good, despite the fact that the Labour Party, I don't think that their numbers are such that they would be successful enough to be able to form a government on their own. So the question is whether or not he will call early elections or not. But we wait and see. So the political intrigue continues in the United Kingdom as well. So keep following that, folks. I want to thank everyone who participated in today's show. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.